You lead not through force, but through example, showing others what it means to live a life of purpose and spiritual alignment. Your presence alone changes the energy of any space you enter. This spiritual magnetism is a key trait of the most powerful.
Another episode of No Filters.
People, opportunities, and experiences that are aligned with your higher mission. Even when you are not actively trying to influence others, your energy has a profound impact.
Confirmation, bitches. Ninja Turtle 90s.
A blessing and a responsibility. It means that you must be mindful of the energy you project and the people you allow into your space. Your energy is powerful, and it must be protected.
That part.
With great power comes great responsibility.
That part.
The most powerful chosen ones face challenges that others may never experience.
That part again.
These trials are not meant to break you, but to refine you, to shape you into the leader you are destined to become. As one of the most powerful chosen ones, you are a target for negative energies.
Of course.
Whether it's psychic attacks, energy drains,
Be right back.
or
Yeah, take a pee.
setbacks, you are constantly engaged in a battle between
Brought to you
light
by
and
Pure
dark
Life.
forces. The more you shine, the more darkness will try to dim your light. However, you are always protected. Your spiritual power is greater than any force that seeks to oppose you. This constant warfare can be exhausting, but it is a sign of your strength. You are a warrior of light, and your battles are not in vain. They are preparing you for your ultimate mission. Even among other chosen ones, you may feel like an outsider. Your experiences are different, your understanding is deeper, and your perspective is often far beyond what others can grasp. This can lead to feelings of isolation or frustration as you struggle to explain your thoughts and visions to those who are not yet on your level. This sense of being misunderstood is common among the most powerful chosen ones. It is a reflection of your unique path and your higher level of consciousness. While it can be lonely at times, it is also a reminder that you are walking a rare and sacred path. With your power comes a great responsibility to guide, protect, and uplift others. You may feel a constant pull to help those around you, even when you are going through your own struggles. This can be draining, and at times you may feel overwhelmed by the weight of your responsibilities. It is important to recognize that while you are here to help others, you must also take care of yourself.
Facts.
Self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity for the most powerful chosen ones. You can.
Okay, let's get into it. Thank you all for your patience, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you happened to land on the realest show, hands down, No Filter, where we have no filter. We have no filter, meaning no governor's pen. We're a like-minded community. If you're a fox molder, if you find yourself to be weird, you don't have much friends, much company, people betrayed you, backstabbed you, you feel like you have a lot of things to share, then this is your space to be at. If you're a student of life and you're going through a self-development journey, this is your spot to be at. If you're just inquisitive and want to know what No Filter is all about, this is your channel to be at. Where we all learn together, and we don't make fun of anyone here. We just state what the truth is. We're just a truth channel, so we see it out, we speak it out. We see it how it is, and we speak it how it is. That's it. So, how is everybody feeling on this beautiful, beautiful Monday nights, or whatever day you may happen to land on here? Let me get my night cappers ready. But yeah, I was compelled to jump on here and just talk about how this new transition is going to go, for me at least. Having a lot of attention on you can really open up your eyes. It's going to be a freestyle download. It can really open up your eyes when you have a lot of attention on you, because it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You have a lot of people out here. What are you doing with this, and why are you on it? This is a CBD J, all right? And I put a little CBD with some real yums and some funnel into some raws. It's just what it is. All right, to each their own. So, when you have a lot of attention on you, thank you, Spirit Team, you realize that you can't please everybody out here. You're not going to be able to please everybody out here. I like the notifications. If you ever see me leaning in, I'm just looking at notifications. Just had some pizza, so I may be belching a little bit. And it's a Ninja Turtle night, celebration bitches night. And when you have a good heart, you want to please everybody. You find yourself attempting to please everybody, but your inner child is saying, fuck that, because you can't please everybody. And your inner child only says that after we've been abused so much, after attempting to please everybody. Some people get upset because I have a Bible. Some people get upset because supposedly I'm intuitive. Some people get upset just by the way I look. Some people get upset because they've been in the game for I don't know how many years and they don't have as much impact as I do. Am I supposed to be upset about that? It's a two-part answer, yes and no. Oh yeah, and follow Lord Draco. Y'all ready to start Cult Busters. Alright. He's another ex-squad member. Follow him. Follow Light. She's the truth. Draconic Princess. Brittany, Cosmic Wifey. Chosen 144. Moon. Latoya Okia. Ralph Smart. The whole squad, man. Just whoever I didn't name, you're part of the squad. So you can't please everybody. You're out here and you're like, man, it's with a lot of power comes with a lot of responsibility. And then you analyze your life from when you can remember to this present moment now, and then you realize that you were just destined to be unique and to stand out. Hence, you are impactful and you draw attention because you're not like the average. Unfortunately, since this is no filter, but unfortunately for people that don't have accountability and humility yet, this show definitely ruffles your feathers. Because most people has been taught to not speak outside of their own hush-hush quarters, I guess. And when you look at it, this world was made to be a very simple place to live in and to learn from so we can evolve. Not with all this distraction. Confirmation, bitches. It's not meant to be all this distraction. It's not meant to have any secrets. It's not meant to have any money. It's only meant to have resources that we can all share. Everything that we're... that's that underarm of a chipmunk right there. Phew. Smell delicious. Baby J's. So we're living backwards. Good smell. So everything, when you look at it, when you have the eyes to see, like Dick Gregory said, it's saddening. All the correction we have to do due to all the pollution and corruption and greed and the indoctrination. So I'm unlearning a lot of my indoctrination right now too, okay? I can't please everybody when I have the Bible and I'm reading verses. I know the power of God is with me. And I learned today from Remember Who You Are, that we weren't meant to worship gods and stuff like that. Tiamat's the true god. I mean, women were the true gods and are the true gods. They didn't need men. We'd just been okey-dokes. They never had sex back then. Women could procreate on their own. And the Anunnaki were salty about that, and they wanted some of that motion. So I'm using some of her lingo. Follow her on TikTok for more in-depth knowledge on Tiamat. And follow I Am Rashid Jamal on YouTube and all platforms. The University of Cosmic Intelligence to get more in-depth knowledge on the origin of everything. And so I'm learning a lot too. I'm a student of life. I constantly remind everybody I don't know shit until I'm told by God. And I was about to say the higher ups, but God is the most higher up, Alpha, Omega. So I'm learning my role in all this as well, because I've been indoctrinated like a motherfucker, been traumatized like we all have. So I'm stepping into my role like we all are. Once we get to that pinnacle of our self-development journey, we realize what our mission is, what we need to do. There's no more games. It's just go time. It really is. And my mission to be as a life coach is to mix love, hate, truth, lies into such a wonderful, digestible format of knowledge and entertainment and curiosity and evoking people's emotion all in one smorgasbord. Smorgasbord just means a combination of things. And deliver it in this format visually to hopefully resonate with people. Maybe not at that moment, but this is a rewatchable episode. Every one of them are. They're layers. It's like a big onion, and every episode has jewels once you get to that point in your self-development journey where this information will make sense to you. If it happens to go over your head, that's not a problem. Don't feel like you're lost and there's no point for you to be in this community. I highly disagree with that thinking, only due to the fact that I used to be in that same position. If it sounded alienish to me, my eyes would glaze over and I would think about playing Nintendo or playing games and just go back to something that's familiar, versus challenging my mind and getting past that brain buzz or brain fog to learn something new. So it's easier to say than do, but if you like challenging yourself daily, which I highly recommend we all do, once you get to that point of just doing it naturally, because once you do it naturally, you see yourself in Michael Jordan mode, and you keep on topping yourself. So you find yourself like never stopping. It's like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant in the gym at like 2 or 3 in the morning, just working on their shit and still playing the game, still going to practice. It's just that ambition. Same Tupac energy, you know? It's just you have a vision and you just, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. So you just always want to stay on that treadmill and like just outdo yourself without even you realizing you're outdoing yourself. Like, I can be honest, I haven't had a moment. Like, after I do this download, I'm going to take a moment to actually celebrate what I've been doing. I haven't had a chance really, or I have. I just haven't taken the chance. That's accountability right there. I haven't found the time or made the time to actually reflect on everything I've been going through, because it's just survival mode. So it's like, once you go from relaxing and chilling to stagnant and just in limbo, once you find your groove and you find your passion, you never want to go back to that state of limbo, because it's just like, no, why would I? It wasn't a productive state of mind to be in. So since I found my groove, or still got a groove back, I'm going to stay on this course of productivity. And it's very rewarding and liberating at the same time, and vindicating at the same time, because you're proving yourself, your inner self, that you can do it. Because our subconscious always loves to give us an answer only based off of the outside reflections of our surroundings. Oh, this doesn't look like you're successful, so why are you lying to yourself? Come on now. We are not going to be successful. Our neighbor down there has a lot of money, but they have XYZ connections. We don't have those connections. We tell ourselves all types of shit. Even our friends, our supposedly friends, I'm not saying it like that. Friends will even tell you their insecurities and fears to hopefully get you to either see the pros and cons, which good friends will do. But if that friend is persistent on just the negative aspects of your dreams or your vision or whatever you may present to your friend at that time, and that friend's not very constructive criticism-ish, well-rounded and looks at it in a grand picture versus just shutting it down, then you don't need to do anything. I highly recommend you analyze your surroundings and your company you keep if you're not feeling reciprocated off of your emotions. That's the best way I can say it. Like if you're always loving to somebody and they're always hateful for you, towards you, is that a good relationship to stay involved in? I don't think so. I don't think there's any room for growth unless if you're hell-bent on learning a lesson on how to be disrespected and maintaining your dignity at the same time. If that's a lesson that you happen to be on, the kudos to you, because we all have our unique missions. And a lot of us don't even know we're on a mission until we're like towards the end of the journey that we're finding ourselves currently exiting. Meaning, so it won't sound kind of confusing. During your self-development journey, there's so many levels to that. Too many do a scan. There goes drone-ish. Okay, let me just rewind and see if I can pick back up on it. When you're going through your journey, and I think I was just talking about people that are hating on your journey, I think it was. We're talking about Michael Jordan, shooting in the gym, your ambition. And you want to outdo yourself. Time for reflection. Yeah, okay, let's just do that. Like, I haven't had time to reflect the hard work I've done. Oh, that's what it was. I was talking about your friends' insecurities. Yeah, so you got to analyze the company you keep. If it just seems like every time you're in a creative state of mind, you guys thought I lost it due to me rolling up, huh? Yeah, exactly. No. Spirit team's always with me. If you have friends around you that seems like they're always negative Nancy's, then I think you should highly recommend the company you keep, because if you want to evolve, it's damn near impossible to evolve if you constantly have negativity around you. It just doesn't make, the math ain't mathin'. If you want high vibrational actions, then first and foremost, you need to be in a high vibrational state of mind. And to be in a high vibrational state of mind, what do you think you would need to be in a high vibrational state of mind? No answer is wrong either. I'll give you a few moments to think about that. What do you think you would constantly need to stay in a high vibrational state of mind in a world that seems like it's full of negativity? Drugs? Hey, I said no answer's wrong. See how real this show is? You just saying that because you're growing up. Damn right I am. See how real this show is? If you know, you know. Well, there's some suggestions out here to stay in a high vibrational state of mind is have positive affirmations to tell yourself, because your brain believes whatever you tell it. Your brain is your CPU for your whole operating system. So whatever is in this storage unit must flow out throughout the body. It must. It's your command center. So whatever you tell it, I'm a piece of shit, then your body's going to treat it like it's a piece of shit. I am the man, I'm the woman, then your body's going to respond like it's that you must be treated with respect. And everything you touch turns into gold, and you are just a profitable walking machine. Your brain, thank you for the confirmation there. So positive affirmations. Another thing is going through a self-development journey and figuring out who you really are. Why do you keep on saying self-development journey? Let's break down what self-development journey means. It is a freestyle download, so if you're just tuning in now, welcome to the realest show ever. No filter, hands down, We don't have any FCC or any sponsors telling us what we can and can't do, what we can't say. We don't have no disclaimers in front of our episode. Hey, this is just the other person's thoughts. At least we're not worried about getting canceled, demonetized, none of that, because we're wealthy forever, I guess. I'm just looking for a way to say it. Just money's not even an issue, so we don't look at things as money. We just look at things as resources, you know? But that's for another time, another topic. So, finding out who you are through a self-development journey. A lot of us go through self-development journeys is when we finding ourselves either outgrowing our surroundings or outgrowing our world. And when I say world, we all have our own realities we live in and that we create. Meaning, like, if you watch the news all the time, which is just a whole bunch of fear frequencies, you create a reality of paranoia, fear, always looking over your head, always staying updated with the latest notifications from CNN and so forth, because you're locked in and subconsciously addicted to that frequency that the talking heads make money off of and are feeding your fear mechanism or fetish, whatever you want to call it, for lack of words. The talking heads are in the business of keeping everybody on edge. So you would tune into their latest broadcast every second they have a notification. I can't even believe I'm saying this to you, but it can't be, anything can be done. But I'm going to tell you what I do naturally that I'm seeing now, what causes people to always look at me. Even though if they don't like it or comment, they're always inquisitive. Because I'm so sporadic and unpredictable that you don't know what you're going to see every time you land on No Filter. It literally is that simple. And I don't do it on purpose. I really don't. It's just how my brain is and how I get my downloads. So I just do my videos as I get the downloads in real time. So it's just sporadic, but it's just natural because I just let it be natural. I don't force it. I'm not in the bit. So that's what I was getting at. So that spontaneous is what I want to say, but I wanted to say it in plural form. So if you're always spontaneous or random, then people's curiosity is naturally going to kick in when they see you on their timeline. What is she going to do next? We all like for instance, I like foreign movies. I like strange movies that are just totally different than the norm movies that we're accustomed to seeing. I like movies that just take me there. Like, take me somewhere that even has me, and I'm a weird person, has me thinking like, whoa, what is the plot of this movie? Where are we going? And it always has me on the edge of my seat. I love movies like that. It's just gravitating. I don't want to say I don't like movies that I can predict, but there's so many predictable movies in Hollywood, and they're not original. They're just always doing sex movies, the same template movies. You already know the formula: sex, violence, drug dealers, slave movies, war movies, the LGBT community movies. Nothing wrong with that. And classics that they just don't have. They have the audacity to keep on remaking and rebooting. Sometimes they do good, but it just seems like there's no originality in there. So it's just the same old movies that are forces of nature, meaning they know they will get attention and box office results. Because if it's a slave movie, they know they can do that in Black History Month. You know, they know the algorithms and how we think and the psychology of everything. They run the show. When I say they, the people in power. They know the algorithms and what sports to put on to get you guys all energized up and distracted, to take your mind off the grind. Just like the emperors did back in the day, hence the Colosseum. They had the gladiators. They had entertainment, theater, to keep your mind off of the tyranny and the slavery that we were living through. That's just bottom line. Instead of us realizing what the fuck's going on, and then we all look at each other and we have strength in numbers, and we look at who's oppressing us, we're like, the fuck, we've been okey doke this whole time. Because they're feeding us crumbs here and there, entertainment, sports, idolizing these celebrities and so forth. Versus idolizing yourself and knowing what's going on by looking around in your environment and putting together the common sense puzzle pieces, the common denominators of how everything works. Hence, I always like to remind people to do your deep rabbit hole research and find out the origin of everything as much as you can, so then everything else around you can make sense, and then you reverse engineer everything. Like, okay, well, we lived like this perfectly fine before cell phones and electricity and so forth, you know what I mean? And then you just see why everything was added. Was this technology helpful, or did it hinder the progress of our human development as a civilization? Like, for instance, just an example, Henry Ford's assembly line did a great job on the massive production side of things, because a lot of us didn't know how cars were put together. We really don't think about the little things, so I'm going to break it down to you. And thank you, Neotech, for providing me the insight to how I can see everything and break it down through common denominators and puzzle pieces. So thank you, Dr. Frank R. Wallace, and thank you, Mark Hamilton, Eric Savage, the daughters, the whole staff of Neotech and Neothink. I truly thank you guys for selecting me, since I was a searcher. And Immortalis, yes, that's already happening. I got you guys on that. We'll talk about that another time, another topic. But that's right. Thank you, Spirit Team. A lot of people don't know how cars are made. So Neotech broke down how cars used to be made back in the day before Henry Ford came up with the assembly line. For those that don't know what the assembly line is, you will understand after this download if the video doesn't come out. So people back in the day used to put together cars so back-ass backwards. They would go to the factory in the morning or in the day, Grand Rising. They would put the car together. All right, they would build the frame. Okay, so the frame's built. So that's just the basic. So they have the skeleton of the car. Then let's just say they'll put on one tire. Then they'll go inside and put on the steering wheel. Then they'll put the back seat in there. Then they'll put the trunk together. Then they'll put a door handle on. Do you see where I'm getting at? Then they'll put a side mirror on. Henry Ford came to work for the company, just to speed the story up, and saw the disorganization of everything. And so I think he had an epiphany. He obviously had an epiphany, or saw someone else do this, stole that idea. Like that's ever happened before. And he saw a conveyor belt of workers having all the parts of a car needed in the proper order. So once the frame was built with the car, they wouldn't just put together random items. They would work in unison. After the frame was built, they would work on the tires, then the frame for the tires. I'm not sure, the axles and so forth. So the frame of the skeleton for the tires would be assembled next after the frame of the car. The shell of the car would be built. Then they would put together the 4 tires and the rod, the vertebrae, let's just say. I'm not a mechanic. And the two bars, lack of words, and the 2 steel rods to hold the 2 front tires together, and the back rod to hold the back tires together, with the vertebrae connecting, holding all those together. That's underneath the shell of the car. And then once they get inside the shell of the car, they would work on the steering wheel. That whole assembly to make sure the tires turn in unison. Then they'll work on the dashboard to make sure the odometer, the speedometer, revolutions per minute and sync and so forth. So that assembly would be done all around the steering wheel. Then they'll work after the steering wheel. Then they would, let's just say, obviously the seats would be put in there. They couldn't work on, well, yeah, after steering wheel was put together, right? Then they would put the seats in there. 2 driver's seat, passenger seat, the back seat, right? And after that, they would, let's just say, upholster the vehicle. They would put the, you know, the fabric on top of the ceiling, so forth, the leather throughout the car, upholster the seats, yada, yada, you get me? And then they'll probably work on the manual, if it's a manual or not. Sticks, if you get what I mean, they would just be more organized. And they found out through organization, they would produce a lot more cars via using the assembly line and utilizing every employee versus employees just randomly just working in chaos. Literally, there would be nails and tools, just literally employees would be stepping over, and they would be having a lunch break and they wouldn't hardly get anything done because everybody was like bumping heads and suggesting, oh, let's get this done. And so the 7 hours or however long they worked throughout the day wasn't as productive as it could have been because there was no flow of unison. There was no unison. There was no order. Yeah, there was no order. Everybody was their own head honcho, and everyone had an idea and didn't agree with one another. So nothing got done since everybody wanted to be the head honcho. You may have heard an expression that says, because I watch a lot of Chef Ramsay, Master Chef and stuff when I was in my truck, that just got me motivated. Another show that got me through my homeless days and getting closer to God was watching Chef Ramsay, Nightmare Kitchen, Master Chef, like all those shows that showed me the drive of Chef Ramsay. He was just always on the go. He wouldn't take no for an answer, and it just motivated me to get through that chapter in my life. So shout outs to him. And I don't know why I brought up Chef Ramsay and where I was going with the download. I was about to totally forget. Oh yeah, that's right. So the assembly line. Thank baby J's. Yeah, so there was just a whole bunch of chaos until order was established, and then a lot more productivity was getting done once there was order. And the moral of that story is, once you see thank you for your team. Once you see how everything can be done with order involved, then it's easy to see the disorder that's happening around us now. If you understand, we don't say understand, because understand means you stand under somebody, and we are all our own gods, so we don't stand under nobody. We understand because we go within for the knowledge. Thank you. I learned this today because our ancestors live within us, and ancestors is basically like answers. It's the same thing as answers, you know. The Western civilization flipped a lot of our words to make it mean something else, but a lot of them are incongruent with one another. Like coincidence and coincide are the same word, but they just tricked us through witchcraft to say it differently, enunciate it differently, so we can think it's two different words. Like how religion has a lot of us believing that there is a God, but that God is coming from outside of ourselves. So we're always constantly being controlled and made to believe that a God's coming to save us. 34 minutes in. When, in reality, the God lives within us because we're God's children. And once we unlock the powers within us, we have the same abilities that God gave us, correct? If we're children of God, then that means God gave us the same abilities. But a lot of us don't believe that because we've been indoctrinated so much. And after 7 years of indoctrination, a lot of our intuitive powers and instincts get nullified, from using the word, or dulled down because our surroundings are mimicking indoctrinated followers and workers versus creative spirits that have their inner child alive. And when we find people that still have their inner child alive, that want to present their ideas to the businesses that's been around forever, those creative people tend, 9 out of 10 times, T-E-N-D, tend to be shunned 9 out of 10 times, because that creative idea is actually a great solution, but the people in power don't want that great idea to be presented and implemented throughout the company, because if that idea was implemented throughout the company, like hence how they did Nikola Tesla knew everything was frequency and vibrations. And follow Remember Who You Are on TikTok. That's a lot of the jewels I got from her today, refreshing me. He knew everything was energy and vibrations, and energy's free. And Thomas Edison and the capitalists that were running the world then knew that was dangerous competition towards their money-driven operations. So let's charge people for electricity versus giving it to them for free. What's the fun in that? Let's charge people for water, even though water's free. You know, the things we do and we think about is like, why do we do these things when it's natural from God? But we've been okey-doke so much to believe in indoctrination. And then the majority of the public starts doing the same thing after 7 years old. It's just like, we're not doing it on purpose. It's just the world that is. Within the rules and so forth, that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Until we make a new world. Hence, we're working on now. And the devil's already been defeated. I love each and every one of you. This is going to be my download. No, I can't even. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say this is going to be my download for in the AM. But I have a download whenever God tells me to get up and do it. So I'm no longer going to say, well, this is that for this. I'm in total surrender to God. So whatever she wants me to do, Tiamat, I'll do for her. Mother. So yeah, whatever mom wants me to do, I got her. But thank you again. I was just burping up some of that pizza. And I hope you learned something today. This is like day 6 of class, free knowledge. Or day 7, I get lost in the sauce sometimes. And yeah, hopefully you learned something, because every episode is like an onion layer. There's layers to it. Some things may go over your head. And then when you rewatch it again, and if you're in a different state of mind, a lot of times I rewatch videos. Like I still need to finish Draconic Princess's video. I'm like, her joint's like an hour joint, her latest one. And I'm like 20 minutes in, and it's good. It's so good. But when you find yourself intuitive, you find yourself bouncing around from different channels. These guys like, okay, watch this video. I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, you always have to listen to God first and foremost. And then you listen to God's messengers, which is me, Draconic Princess, and everybody else. So I want to like gobble up all the knowledge. And I realize there's only a certain amount of time within this matrix when time doesn't exist, yada, yada. So I find myself like channel surfing so much. So those are the pros and cons about being the chosen one. Like you want to gobble up knowledge like a turkey. Then you have to slow down. Breathe, relax, and realize you're infinite and there's plenty of time, just for lack of words' sake. There's plenty of energy out here for us to utilize at the proper time without us attempting to exert all of our energy to gain a percentage of knowledge that you could have spanned out properly with your health and with your health in mind. And then God organically would have made all of the material that you wanted to watch organically happen. Versus us a lot of times with our human logical brain forcing that action to happen. Versus organically letting it happen. Don't let anxiety take over. I get excited every time my collective gets on YouTube. I just rush to them and just want to hear what they have to say, because their knowledge helps me tremendously understand a lot what's going on currently, and it helps me get more in tune with my intuitiveness without me overthinking. So I love you guys and ladies. Stay tuned, stay vigilant, stay prayed up. Mark Wahlberg and everybody else, get his app, download, and support. And love one another. That's the name of the game. And I'm actually going to celebrate now and reflect on the journey. And then get back on it whenever God wants me to get back on it. Yeah, I got the itis kicking in too. High as a bug. Oh, yeah. Whew. And these downloads take some energy. They do. But for the collective, I'm here to do anything. As long as it's in line with God. The one and only. God of love, not sacrifice. Hence this toy right here. What color are you? Red or blue? Time to choose. All right, I love you all, man. Just, you know what to do. Sharing is caring.